Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Tammeraut's Fate, Part 8, as part of our Ghosts of Saltmarsh game. Today is February 27th, 2020, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to inform each and every single one of you at the beginning of all of our games. This is the first time that you are hearing that message from us. Consider going to youtube.com/indooradventures, where you can gain access to all of our VODs for every game that we play here on this channel, as well as we post audiocasts wherever audiocasts are made available for free. If you already support us on Twitch, YouTube, and a respective audiocast, consider going to patreon.com/indooradventures, where you can also gain access to our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, or also see yourself joining our Discord. I feel like we are a group of fine people, and their link to the Discord is sometimes posted in chat, or it is found directly below this video or this audiocast in the description, I should say. Also, I know that our merch store often has things like sweatshirts and mugs and things to help keep you cozy, but the summer months are coming up, so why not help yourself out with the plethora of like tank tops and other more comfortable clothing? Who knows, maybe this year for Gen Con I will once again get a very fashionable crop top and wear it around for at least a day, and the only way that I know, the only place I know where I can get one of those is at indooradventure.redbubble.com. So consider going there if you would like to potentially pick up some merch, find yourself in the ownership of something nice. At least, I think it's nice. With that in mind, hey Dingo, who are you playing tonight?
I'm Dingo, she, her, and I am playing Hish Sunguard, the half-orc fighter, he, him.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Reeves, he, him. I will be playing Ulman and Ham Dark, who use he, him, and they, them.
Boy. I'm Cyber. I play Albus. We both use he, him. Albus is a semi-hybrid sorcerer. He.
Hello, everyone. I am the sexy, mysterious KyleWithAnN. Tonight we'll be playing the sexy and mysterious Jilfa'en, the half-elf cleric, and we both use she, her pronouns.
And I am the indoor adventurer, and tonight I shall be your dungeon master. So, last we left off, you had been able to successfully get through a decent amount of the emotional turmoil and baggage that you all had been going through over your period of sailing upon your living ship Triumph, heading towards the small village of Uskarn. During this travel, Albus was plagued with some rather intense migraines and stayed more below deck and was not particularly involved with a lot of the emotional turmoil, but he getting some sleepies in. On top of that, by the time that you arrived at shore, Hish, you had to make a difficult decision as to try and push your ex-wife a little bit further and convince her to remain aboard this rather infernally tied vessel known as Triumph, but ultimately you decided to bid Talia farewell the following morning. While you were all in this village of Uskarn and getting a proper heading as to where to go, Ulman, you ended up discovering a secret most foul. You won my naming puzzle as you found out exactly what Tammeraut is, or at least what the reference was to, being that there is another ship that sails upon the coastal waters, and it seems like that ship, captained by a long-dead pirate named Tammeraut, has actually been plaguing the coast. It was at that point that you ran back to the ship in an attempt to wait for everybody to come by so you could gather your forces and then let them all know what the deal is with Tammeraut. And Albus was at the bottom of the harbor getting some rest in, and Hish was spending one last night with Talia. So that is where we are going to be picking up. But I actually did want to rewind just a little bit because I feel like there was a necessary scene that should have happened on our trip from Triumph's creation to Uskarn, which was actually going to be between Talia and Jill. Because Talia never got a chance to thank Jill in person for fixing the ship. She sees no problem with it. She never knew the weird demon ship that it became, so Talia, in her own way, is very thankful. And she says just as much when she approaches you and saying, well, I heard from Hish that things... When that creature exploded and caused a... What I'm trying to say is when that monster came by and fucked our shit up royally, I didn't know how we were going to sail again, but I heard from Hish that, well, we have you to thank. They have told me that it is something to do with your god, and I'm not exactly sure who that is. I know that it's not good, but ultimately, she motions to the ship. I think it at least was something.
I think, like, during this conversation, like, whenever Jill hears us saying, you know, like, Hish told me that, like, we have you to thank for this, I think she's, like, kind of, like, tenses up, almost like as she's expecting the conversation to go a different way. But as she, like, listens to her more, she kind of, like, relaxes, I guess, and, I mean, like, lets her guard down a little bit, still a little tensed up, and she's like, oh, well, it was, it's nothing, don't mention it.
She will, she'll be a little obstinate and let you know it wasn't nothing. You fixed this. You can try and be humble all you want, but the fact of the matter is, I don't know how, but it seems like it's moving on its own where we need to go. That's something.
Yes, you would be correct in that regard, but perhaps it's not as much as a blessing as you believe it to be, but
Well, then what should I believe it to be? Because as I stand, still breathing, thanks to Hish and Albus, this is fine. Not exactly what I thought would be happening, given... To be honest, I didn't even really want to come on this trip.
Understandable. It's, well, I can see where a lot of things changed very quickly, and your hand was forced in that decision. But I'm, you know, we're glad you're here and safe.
Thank you. I'm glad that I'm safe as well. And at that, she just says thanks again. And then, unless you have anything else that you would want to bring up to Talia, that's where she leaves you.
Yeah, I think that's probably about it from Jill. Because I think up until this point, she's been a little, like, distant from, like, Hish's and Ulman's family. Like, she doesn't interact with other people's family members. She just feels awkward about it. So I think she's just like, oh, yep. Well, this is the conclusion. I must be going. But I think as she leaves though, there's just like teeny bashful smile.
All right. So we then fast forward to whence we left off, which is Ulman. You know that Albus is sleeping with some fishes down below. I don't know how many there are, but that's fine. So Ulman, what are you doing? As it's just you and Jill awake in the harbor at this moment.
I think Ulman, as he's been waiting and like delivered the news to Jill, has realized that like when the captain gets back and when Albus wakes up, like he can tell them. It's not like he has to hold some big meeting. So I think he makes himself and whoever's around and hungry some dinner and then heads off to bed.
Okay. Sounds good. So, Hish, was there anything that you wanted to do over the evening? Okay.
Not specific.
Gotcha. So then we are going to go into the morning of the next day. So Hish, you wake up. It is you, Talia, and Ollie that have all paid to stay on shore in a nicer part of the village. I mean, it's not like a town with very distinct districts. It's just this place is arguably more well put together and the crowd seems nicer. But yeah, so you wake up amongst your family and Talia is going to be getting Ollie prepared to go on a big trip. And she says that you are going to be heading out to sea again and that she and Ollie are going to be taking the road. It's a little bit safer. And Ollie makes a slight protest, but then remembers the bird made of pure electricity. And that is like, he nods a little bit more firmly. He doesn't necessarily want to leave his dad, but he also understands in his own way the brief play of mortality that he almost witnessed.
Yeah. Ugh, poor guy. Yeah, I think Hish helps Talia get all of Ollie's things together, finds the like inevitably missing shoe, and like puts his little wooden sword in his backpack and all that good stuff. And I think I said this last time, but he hands off the little silver statuette to Talia and just tells her to check in when she can.
Of course.
Yeah, and I think he also he takes out his other scimitar, not the flame one, but just the regular one. And he hands it off to her and he says, You know what to do with this, right?
And she just shakes her head like, stick them with the pointy end?
Yeah, the nice thing about scimitars is that it's easy to tell which side is the
It's all pointy along here.
Yeah, you got it right.
She just again kind of gives you this look like, I've seen you use a sword before. I'm pretty sure I know roughly the motions for it, at least.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure you got it handled. There was that one time with the bobcat. You remember that?
And her eyes just go wide and she looks at a corner of the room that's like 1,000-yard stare.
I have never seen you grab a stick so big and chase so fast.
I have a disdain for wildcats, especially when they are trying to come after me at very quick speeds.
Yeah, well, he rethought that real fast.
And she just sort of chuckles to herself and says, well, don't worry. I'm sure that if we meet any wildcats along the road, that this will be more than enough to deal with them.
Worry? Me? I wouldn't dream of
More
it.
likely than you would think.
I don't think so. I am the picture of calm.
And she has a wry smile and says, we'll try and be down as soon as we possibly can.
Okay, well.
As long as you meet us there, everything will be fine.
Well, it should be smooth sailing from here, so.
And she nods and says, we'll head out. I guess this is the most difficult part to ask. Which would you prefer? You see us off or we see you off? Because one of us has to leave first unless we both just agree to part ways and call it good.
Why don't I see you off?
All
Give
right.
you a little head start.
And she nods, and it takes about an hour and a half, closer to 2 hours, to actually get everything ready. You manage to find a cart, a sturdy enough looking horse that's out of its wild years. It is now very much just used to pulling a cart, and together, as the group is there, Ollie is riding on the cart and Talia is just sort of walking alongside it. And as they are getting ready, Talia will come over to you and she will reach down and just give your hand a reassuring squeeze and says, everything's going to be fine. And she then lets go of your hand and goes back to the cart. And as she gets back to the cart, she mentioned, you hear her say something to Ollie, and Ollie just turns back and leans against the cart and just waves after you, and he continues to yell as the cart continues to carry off about how he's going to be so strong when you see him again. He's going to have big muscles just like his dad.
He's gonna be all big and muscly. Oh. Yeah, I think Hish puts on a brave face, and he's smiling and waving.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, he's just smiling and waving.
Sounds good. So, at this point, it is roughly midday. Albus, you have awoken at the bottom of the harbor, not disturbed by any fishers or your friends. You got a big ol' resty in.
Walk. Yeah, Albus will get out of the harbor, make his way back on the ship. Just dripping wet.
Fair enough. And then at this point, Ulman, if you were still waiting to inform your party members of Tammeraut, it'll be about midday by the time that Hish shows up. And Hish, are you still maintaining your brave face?
Yeah, I think he's still got it on as he sort of boards the ship.
Okay. So you are all now in the same place at the same time.
I guess I couldn't figure out where on that map the kitchen was located. Could you tell me that?
I just Figured it was like first level below deck.
So on the where your kitchen was is 4 on the map. So main deck towards the bow, the 2 front rooms. So for you, 4 is the kitchen, 5 is the dining area, and 6 is food stores.
Gotcha. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Then yeah, I guess I would be in a position where I could hear people arriving. So I guess I just, as I hear Albus board the ship, I invite him into the kitchen to come sit. And then I serve some food up, and as Hish arrives, I also am like, you should come to the kitchen.
Don't have to tell me twice. Yeah, I think he'll take a seat, eat some food.
I already told Jill this last night, but while I was doing some shopping, I overheard a rumor that I'm a little worried about. There's, I think, another ghost ship that's been terrorizing this coast.
Is this one
Captained
also?
by an undead pirate named Tammeraut.
Is this one also gonna be full of spiders?
I
Like an
think
altar to an angry
explicitly
god?
not. I think this is all probably undead pirates.
Indar, would I have heard of Tammeraut?
I would say make a history check.
Okay.
You'll have advantage on this because it's sea related.
Sea related. I was a pirate once in my heyday. $19 plus, where is my history? 0, just 19.
Okay, so with a 19, you have roughly the same understanding of who Tammeraut was that Jill did, in that they were a nefarious pirate captain who once sailed the seas near here, and did the majority of, you know, regular pirate stuff, plunder, salvage operations, that kind of thing. But then their vessel ended up going down near a particularly nefarious spot of water. You know that just based off of your sails that something's not right over there. Like whenever people would go fishing nearby or anything like that, like it always came up really weird. Like there's just something that seems to be messing with the wildlife there.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think Hish kind of leans back from nervously picking at his food, and he says, well, I mean, we've dealt with one ghost ship before.
It's true, and I hope we don't even run into it.
Yes,
to be
that
honest.
would be my vote to not
That's the idea.
engage.
It's not like anybody's hiring us to take care of it. It's just a danger I heard of, I suppose.
No, but if Umberly has her way, we'll be headed right towards it.
I
My thought.
wouldn't be surprised. I just have this gut feeling.
Also, if I could chime in here, there's I mean, they were pirates. There might be good money on that ship.
It's true. I also speculated if we could eat their ship with triumph.
What?
Like putting a ship inside of...
Well, I mean, if we just bit their side, they'd just return to the bottom of the sea, right? Put a big hole in them.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you want our ship to cannibalize this ship, or if it's more like a war situation.
Hold on, let me figure this out. And he touches the ship and tries to reach out again.
Okay.
Triumph, how do you feel about eating other ships?
This isn't even a direct response to you. Do you say this out loud?
I'm thinking it to
Okay.
him.
Both you and Jill, you don't know why this feeling is appearing while you are on this vessel, but Triumph is very pleased in anticipation.
Oh, Triumph is absolutely ready to do some chomping on a ship.
It's not supposed to make us feel better.
Jill doesn't look like surprised at all. She's just
I mean,
like nodding.
I don't know. Now that everything's not fleshy, it's kind of endearing. It's like a boat puppy.
Yeah, you make a point.
Jill still nodding.
Excited to sail us around and chomp on ships occasionally if we need it to.
And the ballista's broken. Don't know what happened there, but
Would
wonder if
this
that
ballista
was
have been
incorporated
fixed?
somehow?
The ballista would have been fixed during the overall mending.
Well, actually, Hish, I don't believe that's the case. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't know what it shoots anymore. It could still be fire.
I guess we'll cross that bridge when we reach it.
I mean, hopefully. Okay, coming back to what you were saying about the money thing. No. We should not be motivated by that to seek out this ship.
Why not?
Oh, we don't need to do that. No one is paying us to do it.
Yes,
I mean,
but
yes, there would be
still
money.
Could be monetary gain from what happened to being thrilled by the idea of monetary gain from adventure.
Well, back whenever I wanted was monetary gain, I suppose, that was motivating, but now it's different.
Near-death experiences. That's my answer.
What is different?
I mean,
She's gonna get flustered and be like, nothing.
Bullshit.
I feel like it. I guess I sort of feel a sense of moral duty in that we could probably deal with it, and there may not be a lot of people around here who could.
We have
Hold on.
And they're causing a lot of trouble. But
we're not vigilantes of justice.
I know. I said I have a certain feeling just in who I am as a person. Not that you all have to go along with that.
I'm getting the sense that two people want to seek out this ghost ship.
I don't want to seek it out, but I have a feeling it's going to
You
find
don't
us.
not want to seek it out.
That's true.
Albus, please be a voice of reason here.
We have a moral duty to get to Moran as quickly as possible.
Exactly.
Well,
Which
I
is
have
why
a moral
we
duty,
avoid it.
and I'm sure Jill does. I have no idea what the two of you need to do.
But as you said, Jill, I wouldn't doubt if Umberly threw it at us. Almost literally, maybe.
Well, if she does, that's a different story. That's not our fault. We shouldn't want to go after it. That's all I'm saying.
None of us want to go after it, Jill. There are just reasons why it would be beneficial if we did.
Some of us have just read the title of the episode.
Hush.
somewhere far away on a plane separate from this, a black dragonborn has a nosebleed.
Jill gets a kerchunk in her thing right now. Who the hell is breaking the fourth wall?
Wait. Well, I'm leaving this conversation feeling probably less assured than I did when I entered it.
Are we all of the understanding that if we encounter the ship, we will handle it?
Yes.
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 Now, circling back to what Jill was being all weird about.
I'm taking my coffee to go.
Fine. Yeah, he kind of sits back and he lets it go.
And Jill just walks off, but you can tell she looks a little embarrassed.
All right. So, you guys have been told about this ghost ship. What is your plan for setting out? Are you planning on staying any longer in Uskarn, or are you just interested in hoofing it to the trail?
The only thing I would want from Uskarn is some potions of healing.
Okay.
How much are those?
So potions of healing, I believe in the PHB are 50 gold pieces. Yeah, so yeah, you'd be able to find them for 50.
Okay. Then, yeah. I'm gonna grab 2 of those. Maybe 3 if I'm feeling... Yeah, let's go 3. I'm feeling it. But that's it, otherwise.
Okay.
For Hish.
Sounds good. And we can just say that you picked those up previously.
Yeah.
Like on your way back to Triumph the first time.
Yeah.
So when you are all ready to set out, Triumph just kind of almost politely backs himself up out of the harbor. He eventually is able to make a turn and then just begins to coast. And as they do, the sail unfurls and seems to be filled with a favorable breeze. Although you guys know that it's actually an almost windless day, Triumph is good at making itself look like a fully functioning ship. And as you are heading out, it is going to be, still some time before you reach and it is after about the third, or it would be at the second night of travel at this point. Yes, Ulman.
At some point shortly after we departed from the harbor, I think Ulman would make a point of stopping in on Hish somewhere.
Okay.
Hey, Hish. I just wanted to check in. How was seeing the kid off?
Yeah, I think Hish looks up from his desk. He's probably feigning doing paperwork or something. There's nothing really to do. And he sort of drums his fingers on the desk and says, well, he's very excited. And he says he's going to fight all the monsters for his mom. I told him not to, but, the best I can hope for is for him to be good and be safe.
Yeah.
But otherwise it was, it was fine.
He raises his eyebrows a little bit. How are you doing?
I mean, how do you think I'm doing?
Yeah. That's why I came to say hi.
Thank you. I don't want to be ungrateful, and I don't want to not have faith in the crew that we sent with them, but and I know Talia is capable and she knows how to swing a sword. It's just the not being able to do anything.
It's true. But the road is a relatively safe place. It's well traveled. Lots of people coming through there. And, well, we just found out we may be encountering something very terrifying. Where would you rather them be?
No, yeah. You make a very good point. That had crossed my mind.
I know it doesn't make it any easier, but it helps, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
So, what kind of house are you thinking?
Something a lot nicer. I think he sort of pulls you over, and I think he sort of like very crudely starts drawing out like what he's kind of thinking and what he thinks Talia might like, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I think Ulman just like suggests ridiculous additions, like
Oh, he
full
definitely puts in the slide for
turrets
Ollie.
and like that just like extend off of random portions of the house and just pure absurd suggestions.
Oh yeah, this house gets out of hand very fast.
But
All
eventually
right.
calls it a night and sees you all.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. So we have Hish and Ulman making plans for a ludicrous house. Albus, is there anything that you would like to do upon setting out?
Yes. Jill, at some point, there's going to be a knock on your door.
Coming. And she'll go get it. Hello, Albus.
Albus is holding 3 books in his hand.
Are they the big bad boys?
Yep.
I see. Okay. Step inside.
I don't feel comfortable holding on to these any longer. And
May I ask why that is?
in Moran right now is one of my people that has been corrupted by his influence. I don't want to be the next. So I don't want to deal with that temptation.
I understand, and I'm more than willing to take the books off your hands. However, I think you're wrong. I think that you are much more resolute than you're currently giving yourself credit for.
I would like to believe that I am. But I can't deal with any. I can't deal with any doubt. I don't want this.
I didn't know that was something that you experienced. No offense, but you always seem so sure about any course of action you take.
Right. Which is why I'm sure that I'm not going to be holding on to these any longer.
I almost said, can I roll to pick a brain? Alas, for the awful is rubbing off on me, but
That's just called an insight check here.
yeah, I want to see if I can, like, because it feels like Albus is maybe being, I don't know. I'm trying to get a read on him.
Okay.
26.
Albus does not lie, or has not lied to you all. He is probably overstating his temptation, but in his mind, maybe he just randomly thought about going through his bags and taking the books out, and even that was too much for him.
Yeah, I think with that, she'll be like, sorry, I didn't want you to feel the need to justify your decision. I will take the books off of your hands. I just wanted to check in, I guess, she'll say as she scoops the books out and puts them in her desk.
Do you believe he has your best interests at heart?
She's not going to make direct eye contact. I think her eyes are going to go to the picture on the wall.
Detect thoughts.
Oh, shit. And Albus, as you're detecting thoughts and you watch Jill's vision trail, you haven't seen this portrait before.
I think what you, I think the general vibe that you get is you would get what Jill felt whenever she rolled that natural 20 on her insight check into Tharsden. And that sense would be a sense of, like, you get the sense that she believes that he believes he has her best interest at heart, if that makes sense.
Okay. Now, what's Jill's answer?
And you would probably also, like, see little snippets of, like, her getting the picture, and also probably snippets of her writing to Tharsden and him being like, yeah, you're the guiding star, of course, duh. She'll probably, like, look back and say, funnily enough, yes, actually. I know how that must sound, but I don't know. I mean, I do know, but I know that you probably don't believe me.
And Albus will just nod and leave.
Alrighty. So, Jill, you have gotten your 3 original Tharsden tomes returned to you. Albus, you gained all the information that you needed to, I guess, from Jill. But is there anything else that you guys would like to do over this next set of days?
Albus is going to go to his room and just psychically, just like, it's the psychic equivalent of screaming into a pillow.
Okay.
Oh no, you go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Fine, okay. You win. Ulman, I think since he has reduced duties in terms of people he has to feed, gives Ham some like leeway to do as he kind of wants to. So if he wants to do some painting or tumbling around, whatever he desires, I guess.
A lot of it is painting, but it's Ham trying to learn how to speed paint. Basically, he knows that if he creates something using his slime boy powers, it lasts for only a set amount of time. So he is basically throwing out a canvas and trying to paint a thing as quickly as he can on it before the canvas erases, just to time himself. And when he does, he does the definite childhood thing of, I want you to time me, and then he just starts going for it, like, I can run so fast, time me to see how fast I run. Like, that sort of mentality is coming through.
Yeah, I encourage him thoroughly. Definitely getting faster. And I try to impart what little knowledge I have of painting as well in little tips.
Okay. Make a performance check to see how good you get at these.
17.
Okay. So you actually come a decent way. It turns out when you focus on one thing for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours at a time per day, you can actually accomplish pretty decent stuff. So at this point, what Ham is capable of doing is actually like putting out up to like 4 canvases, and just with similar strokes on each of them, just quickly reproducing paintings as well.
Ooh. All right. Impressive.
And then Jill, what were you looking to do?
I was trying to decide who I wanted to talk to, but I think I figured it out. I think it's Ulman. Yeah, I think she's just gonna bust in the kitchen one day while you have some downtime. Psh, Ulman, holy fuck! No, it'll be more calm than that. And she'll be like, Ulman, are you busy?
Not particularly. What's up?
This may seem a strange question, but you're able to interact with Triumph?
Yeah, I can. I just kind of extend myself towards him in the same way I do to speak to everyone else, and especially Ham at first.
And you find that it works. I guess I'm just curious, do you get a feeling back? Or is it like something different?
I mean, sometimes he just kind of gave me a feeling when I was talking about the eating ships, but we've spoken as well. Sometimes says things. I've never been contacted by him, but
So you only get a sense after you've directly tried to reach out.
yeah, you could say that.
Interesting. And you said you've spoken to. They spoke back to you.
Yes, when I asked what their name was and if they could hear me.
I see. Okay, then. Great, excellent. That's informative.
Can I ask a question in return?
I suppose that's only fair.
And he grabs your like to-go mug and puts it in the sink behind him.
Fuck.
Why do you ask?
I suppose I may have been acting a little cagey.
Maybe.
But, okay. How do I explain this without making an ass of myself? Since Triumph has become, well, sentient, I can, feel what they're feeling all the time.
Ulman scratches his chin. I suppose that makes some amount of sense. Even if it's a little unfair to the captain.
Yeah, I feel really bad. I'm not trying to undercut Hish here.
But you are the one who created it, so in a way, I guess. I can see how you might have some connection.
Yeah. It's I don't know how I feel about that. Well, I don't know. Perhaps you're kind of familiar with the feeling. Can you always feel what Ham is feeling?
Yes, but I think that comes with a sense of familiarity and long time exposure and us working in harmony with each other. I kind of assumed it was a special case. Maybe. Wow. I suppose my whole situation is a special case.
Yes, that's very accurate. I don't know why I felt so weird about saying anything. I guess I don't know, this whole situation has been so what it is that I didn't want to make things even weirder.
Yeah. I don't want to stir the pot when it's already been stirred a lot, but I think some time has passed, and I think people would probably be in. I think Hish will be fine. Maybe it'll be a bit of a blow.
He named the ship after his son, though.
Yeah, but the ship already tossed that name. When it
How do you
decided to
think?
triumph, right?
Do you think Albus would? Oh my god. Oh my gods, I don't know. I don't know. Should I try? Should I keep trying to talk to Triumph? Like,
I mean,
is that
why
something
not?
I should pursue?
If you want to. I mean, I suppose if you got closer with Triumph, you could ask them what some of their capabilities are, and we'd be better prepared with maybe how to use that fire cannon wherever it. Do you think it's in the, like, right in the prow? It just fires out of his nose?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to know.
You haven't seen. Did you see Triumph's mouth?
I don't think I did.
I'm pretty sure this is the first time you've heard that Triumph had a mouth.
I'm sorry. Did you say mouth?
Oh yes, I mentioned you know, it biting things, right?
Okay. All right.
Oh, here, I have a great idea. Ham, you remember how it looked like from the front? Let's do a speed paint.
Oh God.
And Ham is so excited for this. And at this point throws up a canvas onto the wall, and over the period of like 2-3 minutes is able to give just a really quick sketch of what Triumph looked like. And you see that there are 4 eyes where the portholes had once been on either side of the bow, and the bow actually broke at about the halfway point to then recede back into a jawline that is slightly distended in this picture, and you can see what looked like an impossible number of rows of terribly sharp serrated fangs and teeth that just go forever, it seems, into a void. It is dark in texture. Along the sides you see that there are these giant fins, and it almost looks like some sort of infernal whale.
Ham, you're not taking any artistic liberties with this, are you?
Oh no, this was exactly what we saw. I mean, it has
Uh-oh.
the whole carapace now, so I don't know if it would look precisely like this when it does that again, but...
Okay, well, glad we made some revisions. That is terrifying.
You know, I find it kind of funny that I seem to have grown fondest of this ship fastest. The carapace helped a lot. Thanks for
The
that.
carapace really helped.
But he just... it's so hard when he seems so excited to eat another ship. I know that excitement. And if we're up against another ship that we're battling for our life against, why not indulge it?
That's certainly one credit to Triumph. They are willing and eager to fulfill their purpose.
Ulman, Ham tells you via your telepathic bond that they think they know how you could find out how the ship uses its fire.
Oh, what are you thinking?
We could just ask it.
Oh, yes, I suppose that's right.
And Ham will... Jill, you see Ulman like get the ham stare. You can tell, like, based off of how the facial structure moves between Ulman and Ham at this point. And you see that Ham is currently the one controlling this body. And as they open up their mouth, it is like 3 different tones that are being uttered all at once. And Ulman, to you, it sounds like Ham is just making like a dial-up modem sound out of their mouth. But Jill, you hear Ham ask the question, how do you use this fire? But you hear it because you understand this language. And the response from the bowels of the ship that can be heard throughout are just a series of deep grumbles that also sound like they are like glass scraping against glass. And Jill, you hear that it will that all you need to do is aim and it will fire true. And like Ham nods that and then relays that to you as well, Ulman. And you see them put their hands together and extend outward and actually use the ability to create small things to create what looks like a small miniaturized version of Triumph, where the bow of the ship actually, like you see a tiny little Hish run over, sit on ballista, aim with a ballista, and then the bow of the ship splits open to reveal the maw, and you just see a large ball of fire shoot out from the maw of the ship.
Okay, on second thought, that's kind of badass.
Damn. It's really cool. This has done nothing to dissuade me that I don't like who made Triumph, because I don't agree with him in my interactions, personally. But this ship is pretty cool, now that I am not so shocked about it.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I definitely don't want that to be a dig at you. That was not the point. So
No, I understand. All right, just I don't know, maybe it feels weird to say this. Maybe don't tell Hish and Albus, because I don't know how they're going to react, and maybe I should tell them, but I don't know if I want to tell them yet. But yeah, you understand, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, this has certainly been edifying. I am going to go decompress, and then I think she'll scoot around you and take the mug.
Yeah, he like has filled it with fresh coffee.
Yeah, and she nods in appreciation and scurries out.
Albus, you and Hish were both minding your own businesses wherever you were. And again, this rumbling sound of glass on glass being strained just seems to emanate from the bowel of the ship.
What the hell was that?
Jilfa'en.
You hear Ulman yell from the deck, "Sorry, that was my bad."
Ulman?
My bad.
If either of you poke your heads out, he explains, I was trying to figure out how we're supposed to use our ballista now, so I asked Triumph. But apparently Ham knows how to actually speak to him, so he said some stuff that sounded not quite as grating to hear, but definitely not anything I could understand, and then Triumph spoke out loud, which I wasn't expecting, and that was painful.
Was it a language that Albus understood?
It is not.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, and he points at the ballista It's like, you just sit up there and you aim at what you want to shoot at and you pull the trigger, and then he fires a fireball from his mouth.
Fuck, that's actually kind of cool.
I know, right?
Okay, well, I'll be on deck then.
I'll be here.
He goes back to the kitchen.
Okay. So, it is the evening of the second day. It has been an eventful trip thus far, that is for sure. And as night begins to fall, it is currently in that early night where like the sun has already gone down, and it's a very almost light purple color to the actual skyline rather than being the deep blue of true night. And about, I want to say as you're traveling, there is a sense of being ill at ease that seems to rest in. And both of your regular ABS, your crew members, as they have been out here kind of trying to fish, honestly, they had no problems with just fishing for an extended period of time. It's not like they're getting restless, but they just don't really feel well. Almost like there's like a weird film about everything, and it's not just like the coastal grime, and it's not a chapstick like texture of an accidental oopsie. This is just like the air itself feels wrong. And there is a moment of quiet out on the shore, and Jill, you receive a feeling from Triumph of hunger and a feeling of readiness. And off towards the front of your vessel, those of you who are out on the deck, you hear the sound of rumbling water and parting waves as a form actually begins to appear from an area of sea near you that was previously unoccupied. You see a long white, almost bone-like structure jutting out, and as this thing appears, you can see that it is another ship. The bow of this ship has what looks like a long whalebone that makes up the front curvature towards the actual vessel, and there are a continuous series of what looks like bones that have been interwoven that are now just having water seep out of them as you watch as this vessel makes its way to the surface looking towards your ship. It is making its way towards you at a rather startling speed, and you can feel, Jill, that Triumph is ready to devour. And as this secondary vessel is making its way towards your ship, that is where we are going to go into our break for the evening. So we are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. So don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice. But we will see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. We have returned. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Last we left off, the large, the adjacent ship that you guys had been warned about, captained by one Tammeraut, has emerged in front of you. This vessel is made up entirely of bones, and you can see that there is a formidable amount of crewmen that are actually on this vessel as well. And one of the ones that you take particular note of is they are one, they have flesh, which is very strange, but they have very large horns that actually come off of the back of their head, and they are sitting on the railing on the helm next to what looks to be the captain of this vessel. You aren't sure what this creature is necessarily, but it looks mean, and it looks very smelly, as any time seawater and wet fur get involved, it's just never a good time. But this vessel is making a way towards Triumph and the lot of you, so I'd like for everybody to roll initiatives.
I think Ulman would be out on deck, because as soon as he gets that uneasy feeling, he's like, it's going down. It's going to be here.
Albus is below deck, grasping his head, which would explain his natural one.
Oh no.
Yeah, Jill is up on the deck because she got the vibe check and has a 16 for initiative.
Hish is also on the deck, but he only got a 12 for initiative.
And Ulman, what'd you get?
Dirty 20.
Okay. Sounds good. So, both of the vessels are going to move on initiative count 20. So, that is just sort of setting when Triumph is going to be doing Triumph things, when their vessel is going to be doing things appropriate to their vessel. So, at this point, the horned creature that you had seen is gearing up to actually pounce. It looks like they kind of move along the side railing, and they hunch over, and there's this long tail that is sort of just swishing back and forth with this nasty salt water that is whipping about it. So then it is going to be ready for when the ships are near each other, and on initiative count 20, the vessels move. As Ulman, you have your initiative count 20 as well, but because these are already things that are moving versus moving on top of them, it's more just like trying to track when stuff is getting by each other. So as this large bone vessel actually gets near Triumph, a lot of you hear a sort of groaning breaking noise as Triumph is going to then extend their maw out and latch on to the side of their vessel and just begin trying to take a large chunk of it. As their teeth sink in, there is a follow-up groan that seems like it is in distress. But this is also coming from Triumph. And on the front, where Triumph is actually bitten in to the side of this bone vessel, the sides of the opponent's vessel actually jut out, and you see that long spikes and spears made of bone are coming from the area near where Triumph has actually bitten in and has penetrated through the wooded carapace of your creature. Ulman.
I think Ulman races over to the ballista. What's the most important looking thing that I can see that I can shoot at?
Well, there's a man standing at the helm of a ship. He seems pretty important. Other than that, you aren't necessarily sure of the structural integrity of their vessel.
Can I see a large grouping of sailors?
I would say yes.
What are you yelling at me? Captain and Demon Dude or a whole lot of crew members? I think crew members.
Okay. I cannot hear you.
Clicked on another page. Am I just adding dex and proficiency for this?
So, because you are shooting a fireball, you just need to roll for damage on this. But
Okay, cool.
as you go to properly aim and fire it, Triumph is still locked on to the hull of the opponent's ship. The fireball is really more of like a long distance cannon that you can fire, but when you're that close, you would just be firing it directly into the hull of the opponent's ship. You wouldn't necessarily need to aim because Triumph can't like then angle and shoop to whoop the fireball up from the base of your vessel onto the deck of theirs when you guys are literally like 15
He
feet
said
apart.
all aim true. That's a psychic fireball if I've ever seen one.
Get your Pathfinder logic out of here.
I meant homing, but this is a slight that I won't take. I wasn't even thinking Pathfinder. Maybe think I was thinking Binding of Isaac and homing shots. But yeah, I'll just shoot a fireball straight between those ribs into the hole.
Okay. Sounds good. So roll for damage.
66?
I believe fireball is
8d6?
I thought it was 8d6.
I don't have it on my page, so
I will check it. Yeah, fireball is 8d6.
8d6, cool. $31.
Okay. It will automatically fail its save because your ship's mouth is already into their ship. It is impossible for it to miss at this point. Alrighty, so it is now the demon boy who is holding his turn. They are actually going to leap off of the railing where they had been at, and they are going to then try and stomp towards you, Ulman. And so they end up getting close next to you, and they are going to make a tail attack towards you. They actually, like, even though they seem infernal in nature and they have these large horns, you see that the tuft of fur that you had thought was fur anyways at the end of this tail actually solidifies into these incredibly sharp points, and it is going to then try and whip out towards you. So it is then going to does a 19 hit.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Shield.
Okay.
And say no.
Alrighty. So as this thing's tail gets close to hitting you, you manage to throw up the shield and avoid its attack. So then next up is going to be one of the crew members on the opposing ship, who is also going to jump over from their vessel onto yours, and they are going to attack one of your crewmen. And that is... yeah, that would be enough to hit that boy. And then he get... okay. Then they make a second attack. And that second attack misses. But you now have one of these undead pirates on your side of the ship, and looking at them, they look bloated. It looks like these are waterlogged corpses that have gained some form of sentience. If you have seen The Shining, the woman in the tub, imagine that, but like as villainous skeletons that are now trying to invade your vessel.
And/or what the fuck?
Hey man, they're gross. Them's is real nasty. So next up is Jill.
Okay, so there are two of
There is
them
a
boys.
there is a horned, tailed, with skin individual, definitely demonic in origin, that is currently harassing Ulman, and then you have the bloated guy with the longsword that is currently on your vessel as well. Those are the only two that are on your ship. Everyone else is currently still on their original vessel.
Are they like close together?
Some of them do look like they are close together. If you were looking for a kind of cluster, you could hit 3 of them.
Follow-up question. What's the weather like today?
The weather is stormy. It's cloudy. It's not like there's already thunder and lightning going on in the background, but there could be.
Could be being the key word here. So Jill is going to like reach her hand up to the sky and kind of like move it in like a little spiraling formation. And as she does so, above the other ship, you see dark gray clouds also begin to like spiral out. And you hear the rumble of thunder. And once it gets to a large enough size, she's just going to bring her hand down, and with that, a crack of lightning as she casts Call Lightning
Okay.
on that little group of 3 there. So that's going to be dex save
Okay.
of 17.
Oh, 17. Okay. Well, they all fail then.
Excellent.
I was like, this guy got a 17. I'm sure he got like a 16. I'm sure he'll be fine.
So it's 3d10 unless it's storming, then it's 4d10, but I don't think it was storming before. It was just cloudy.
It was just cloudy.
Okay, then I will roll the 3. Actually, you know what? No, fuck them. I'm going to use Channel Divinity and use Destructive Wrath and hit them for the full 30 points.
Holy shit. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, they take it. They do not like what has just occurred upon them, but they are still standing afterward. So,
And yeah, I think she's just gonna move herself, I think, back a little bit. So while still maintaining concentration on this storm cloud.
okay. Sounds good. So, your remaining concentration on the storm cloud. Then next up is the captain and one of the guys that you just electrocuted. So the captain is actually going to look down at the lot of you that are on the deck of the ship. And Ulman, I need you to make a wisdom save.
Is a 19 gonna do it?
Fuck you. Yeah, that's fine. So, you feel there is, or you watch as this kind of dark iron crown forms above your head very momentarily, and it looks like it is about to try and sink in on your skull. But as it does, Ham just extends outward and envelops it, and you watch as that iron just acidically dissipates within Ham's body, and you get a little taste that Ham was happy to have nommed on something. He got a little mid-fight snack. And then next up is one of these other, or the crewman that is also going to make its way onto your vessel, and it is going to. They are going to attack the able-bodied sailor that the other one had attacked before. And you watch as that crewman goes down. Then with the second part of its action, it is actually going to grab the body of your companion, and you see them just throw them overboard.
Can I do something to stop him?
Well, it is. There's one more of these other individuals' turn, and they are going to actually jump over as well, and they are going to go on to Jill, and they are going to try and strike out towards you. As Jill, you were mean and called lightning down from the sky. With the command of the captain, they are going to point out towards you, and there is a sense of recognition from this former sailor, you're guessing, this former pirate, with their captain, and they are going to try and go out towards you. So, Jill, does a 24 hit?
Yeah, that hits, but I don't like the sense of recognition. Why is it recognizing me?
No, they're recognizing, it points out towards you, the captain does, and the crewman looks up towards the captain. They have a moment of recognition with each other. Like, they can't speak to each other because undead.
Got it.
Yes. So they have not just been like, that one! Like, no, like, they're doing it because you called lightning down from the sky, not because they recognize you as a person. So, Jill, it doesn't actually, it doesn't have a sword or anything like this. You just see it kind of raise up a hand and swipe out towards you, and it is going to make an unarmed strike. That is going to be for a total of 9 points of bludgeoning. And then I need you to make a Constitution save.
Okay. That is Garbo. Yeah, that's gonna be like a 4.
Okay. Sounds good. So, you have now gained a condition upon failing
which
this
one?
Constitution save. So, this is a... Okay. Just know that you are poisoned.
Don't like it. Also, I need to roll a concentration check.
Yes.
For Call Lightning. Gotcha! 14?
Yeah. Because you just need to beat a 10 if the damage is less than that. So, then it is going to make a second attack towards you. That is a natural 20.
Hate that.
And that is for 13 points of bludgeoning.
All right. Let's make another concentration check. Hopefully, it goes good. 14.
Okay. So you still managed to save on that. So then it makes a third.
I would like to use my reaction.
Sure.
To fucking get it with the one thing that I was... Wrath of the Storm! Wrath of the Storm to get it back. That will be a dex save of 17.
Okay. That is a 17.
So it makes it.
Okay.
So 2d8. I'm gonna do lightning damage. So that's a 9 half to
4.
And as a bonus to that, anytime I deal lightning damage to a large or smaller creature, I can also push it up to 10 feet away from me.
Okay.
So just yeet.
So I would say that if you would like, you can either push it on, like, you can either push it off the deck to just have it then immediately fall off the side, because it did, or no, it needed the 17. So whenever you deal the damage, it just does that anyways. Like, it doesn't need to make a save.
Yeah, I can like copy and paste the text.
Okay.
In chat or something. If this would let me. Yeah, that's what it says.
Okay. So I will say that you, if you would like, can just yeet this dude off the side of your vessel.
I would love that.
Okay. Sounds good. So thankfully, Wrath of the Storm is, as always, very helpful. So then next up is going to be... He went... Hish, it is your turn.
Okay, can I get the lay of the land?
Yes. So currently on your side of the ship, there are two of these, we will call them drowned blades because they have swords on them. So there are two drowned blades that have currently sliced up one of your able-bodied sailors and then thrown their body overboard. There was one of these more hand-to-hand oriented ones that Jill has just blasted off the side of the ship as well. And then there is straight up what looks like a demon fighting Ulman. Like, that is not like a weird drowned person. That just looks like a demon.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna help Ulman with the demon.
Sounds good.
$21?
Yeah, that totally hits.
Yay. I'm also going to make it a... Where is it? There's no one near him, right?
That is correct. It is just you and Ulman going up against this guy. And looking across the side of your ship onto the enemy's vessel, you see that the captain doesn't even seem concerned with everything that is going on. Like, there is just this air of uncaring, and perhaps that's because they're undead, but they are just more focused on looking over towards where Jill is. Mostly because of the lightning. Like, they seem to have a basic understanding of battle strategy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make this a disarming attack. So I need him to make a strength saving throw.
Okay.
I find a D8.
Yeah. So strength save, that is not nearly enough.
Well, it should have cleared a 17. Did it do that?
17? No, it did not. It got like an 11.
Great. He is now disarmed.
Okay. So their weapon is a barbed tail. It is not actually a weapon that they wield. So for your disarming strike, what does the move say? That they drop any weapons that they are wielding?
It says, add it to the damage and to disarm the target if it fails a strength saving throw.
Okay. So I will say that it won't lose its tail, but you'll still be able to get the damage for the disarming strike. It just doesn't have any like actual weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Could I possibly, as a way of disarming it?
you could cut off one of its actual arms if you wanted to.
I'll take it. I was just gonna hold on to his tail, but I'll take it.
Yeah. No, so like they are now missing an arm, and this deep black it's not blood. It doesn't flow like blood. It almost oozes out like when you're frying up meat and you press on it, how the grease just sort of spills out to the side. That sort of spillage is what is occurring out of this open wound.
God, is anybody else hungry?
So very much.
Also, 21 damage
Okay.
total.
Got it.
Thank you for giving me so much time to do math. And he's gonna hit him one more time.
Go for it. And then how much
14
of that
plus
is
9, I assume.
That'll hit. How much of it is fire damage versus regular damage?
7 is fire damage.
Okay.
And then the rest is regular damage.
Okay.
23 to hit. Okay, I assume it's a yes.
Yes.
I'm just gonna make that the right one. 12 Rago, 5 fire damage.
Okay. It's like this every time Hish comes in. With a very quick set of flourishing blows. This creature does not look well. It has taken a substantial amount of damage.
I took his whole arm off, so.
You did. And you do it again. So then next up is another one of these drowned blades, who was initially caught in Jill's lightning call, and they are going to hop over, make their way towards Jill, and try and attack out towards you. And that is a 13 to hit, which I don't believe does.
Wow.
And then a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that one will do it.
For a total of 7 damage.
Alright, and a roll concentration check. Do I have disadvantage on that? Nope, attack rolls and ability checks. 16.
Okay, so yeah, you're good. Wait. Yes. Okay. Gotcha.
Yay.
So then next up, there is one more of these hand-to-hand boys that is going to jump over the side of the vessel, and they are going to then get up towards you, Hish, as you are waving around this fiery saber, and they are going to try and strike out towards you.
Might take his arms too.
An 11 doesn't hit. Does a 17 hit?
It does not hit.
Okay. Then they're going to make one last attack towards you for a 9, so they don't even get close. So now that we have gone through most everyone, Albus, it is you and then one other drowned blade.
He didn't beat a natural 1, did he?
No. Well, you have a +2 to your dex.
Yes.
And they also got a 3 total, but they have a -1 to their dex.
Yeah, so Albus, like, finally makes his way to the deck. Like, he looks like he just got out of bed. Like, he doesn't have, like, a jacket or anything on. He is, like, full shirtless. It's nasty. What does he see?
So, Albus, what you see in front of you is that there are 2 drowned blades that are standing by themselves. There is a drowned blade and a hand-to-hand guy that are up in Jill's grill. Then there is a hand-to-hand guy and a straight-up demon that are currently engaged with Hish and Ulman. And then there is the captain of the ship, of the enemy ship, still at their helm. And then also on the deck of the opponent's ship, there seems to be one more of these very bloated-looking corpses that looks like they're getting ready to also hop over onto your deck here relatively shortly.
How far away is like the captain and stuff?
The captain, I would say, is at most 60 feet away.
How far away is the demon?
The demon being on your ship is less than 30.
Okay. I need the captain to make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. That is a 14.
I hit with a cantrip for 8 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
He will need to subtract a d4 from his next saving throw, which is going to be really easy to remember because I'm going to make that happen right now. I'm going to spend a couple of sorcery points to quicken a spell. But the captain and the demon are going to need to make charisma saving throws.
Okay. The captain gets a 20, or then...
subtract the d4.
Okay, so 20... A 16. And
Okay.
then the demon...
That demon!
The demon is going to get an 8.
They're both banished.
Okay.
Where did they come from? Where did they go? Where did they go to, Three-Eyed Joe?
So, yes, this demon just snarls in front of you, Hish, with this spurting of black blood or black ichor coming from its severed arm, and then just gone. And as, like, this, like, small cloud of smoke dissipates, looking past, you see that the captain of the other ship is also gone. And Albus is just standing shirtless on the deck, looking very proud of himself.
Well, looking very pained, but yes.
Albus, put a shirt on.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot happening right now.
So then...
Is this really what you're worried about?
Yes.
So then it is the last of the drowned blades who is going to get onto your ship, and they are going to... They see a shirtless guy. They're gonna try and do a heckin' stab on the shirtless guy.
With tentacles.
With tentacles. That doesn't make it any better, but... That is an 8, which is not enough to hit Albus. And then... Does a 15 hit Albus?
Not if I shield.
Okay. Yeah, and it just lumbers over towards you, and as it does, you see that it's trying to moan in the way that the undead typically do, but rather than any actual sound coming out, it is just pushing the water that it has, that has lodged itself in its lungs outward. And you see that there are like small fish that are also coming out with it. It's a nasty time, but that is it for their turn. That guy is no longer with us because of a banish. So then it is our 2 ships that are going to then make moves on their own. So I would like for Jill, roll a d20.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, fuck. Okay. 12.
Okay, so It hits this other ship. Not necessarily because the other ship's AC is less than 12, but because Triumph has a +8 to hit.
Oh, Jesus, Triumph.
With his big old chompies. And then... Hish, roll me 4d12.
Nobody rolls those dice.
Triumph does.
How do we get to roll those dice?
Is Triumph a barbarian?
I don't have any D12s on me.
Wait. Surely I have some here.
All right. So how
Got
about
one in
this?
hand.
Everyone except Hish roll 1d12 and we will add them all together.
12.
11.
12.
Shit.
For a total of 36, because I rolled a 1.
Oh, okay.
A likely story.
But yeah,
That didn't
so
nerf us.
you all hear another large munching sound as Triumph continues to just make their way into the belly of this other ship. And then that ship... Again, Triumph is once again met with a not as comfortable feeling as it gets speared by these bone sparks these bone spears that are emerging out of the side. And you can see that they actually have hooks on them. So as they pierce into the side of Triumph, as the ships continue to pass, they are just raking at this infernal flesh that Triumph has hidden beneath the wooden carapace. And you can see that chunks of the wood are actually falling off from the damage that Triumph is sustaining.
Excuse me, sir, that's my dog.
DoesTheBoatDie.com. So that is it for them. Next up, Ulman, what would you like to do?
Well, with no demon in front of him, I think he'll see that there's one of these bloated zombies attacking Albus and move over to attack that one. Is a bonus action. I'm going to go ahead and give him those big comic eyes, aka Hexblade's Curse.
Okay.
And then I'm going to Green Flame Blade.
Play.
This isn't just an incorporated campaign anymore. We can't do that.
For a total of 12 to hit.
For a total of 12 to hit. That is actually enough.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They're wearing waterlogged leather.
Do I have a sneak attack?
You do have a friend within 5.
$27.
Okay. So this is the one that was on Albus. So let me see here. That would put him at... They are still alive.
Okie dokie. Well, I can't do anything else about that.
Okay. Sounds good. So then next up is going to be one of the drowned blades that had originally been attacking one of your other crewmen. Your one remaining crewman has, since this kind of run back under the deck of the ship. They didn't have their weapons. They had a fishing pole out at the time. So they don't really feel like they would be that useful in this fight. But they are going to come up towards the shirtless man, Albus, and they are going to try and make a heckin' stab. Does a 16 hit?
No.
Okay. And second attack, a 9 won't hit if a 16 didn't, so their attacks also just seem to fall short. But now there are two of these individuals that are upon ye.
Man,
The
shield
weapon-
is such a good spell.
The weapon just bounces off of Albus's thick, meaty chest. The armor was nerfing him.
God. Now I can't. Now that's in my brain. It lives there now. So then next up is Jill.
Okay. Is everyone on our ship now and like engaged with
Yes.
someone minus the one that got yeeted off the boat?
Yeah. Minus the one that got yeeted, and also minus the ones that Albus just disappeared.
Okay. I don't want to hit my friends with Call Lightning, which I feel like is a possibility if I did that. Let me just. How's the one in the water doing? Is it? Are they doggy paddling? What's up with them?
The one that you yeeted into the water just sank.
Oh, cool. Sick. Is drinking a potion an action or a bonus action?
It is an action.
Okay. I will glug 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 drink one of my healing potions as an action. Where the heck is I always forget what I need to roll. Okay. Huh. Huh. Okay, that is math. 8 points of healing. And then as a bonus action, yeah, I can cast that. That's not concentration. As a bonus action, I would like to cast Spiritual Weapon and rattle those chains, baby.
Okay.
And is there one still in my grill?
Yeah.
Okay, that one's gonna get thwacked by the chain. Just real quick. For 24 to hit.
Yeah, it'll hit.
For 10 points of, what is this, force damage? Force damage, yes.
Okay. Sounds good. They are still alive. Well, alive is a strong word, but they have they have taken the damage and have not yet fallen. So, then next up, because that was your action, bonus action, then that would be that guy's turn, but he is banished, so that doesn't count. The one that you just struck, Jill, is actually going to try and then strike out back towards you. And that is another natural 20. Oh my god.
You gots to be kidding me right now.
Nope. No. Right, so
I'm gonna
that
eat
is
that dice.
for 13 points of slashing.
Okay, let me roll my concentration check. Well, that is a 14.
Okay. Yeah, no. With concentration, it is half of the damage, but if the damage is less than 10, then the DC is just 10 flat.
Okay, I always forget how concentration checks work.
Yeah, so you are good on that one. They swung out twice towards you, only being able to land the one solid hit.
I'd like to use my reaction.
Okay.
Fuck it, I'm gonna hit this one too with Wrath of the Storm.
Okay. Sounds good. So that is a
Dex.
natural 1 on its dex save.
Perfect. And I'm gonna hit it with that lightning damage, and I'm also trying to push this one out of my face.
Okay.
Oh well, I rolled like garbage. That's like 3 points of lightning damage.
The fact
But
that
I'm
you can
still
still
trying to-
move this, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still yeet.
So this boy is successfully yeeted and is no longer on the vessel. You hear that there is it's not a splooshing sound as you might expect. Looking over the side of the ship, Triumph is close enough with this bone ship that as the body falls in, they just get smooshed between the two as they kind of rub up against each other, and they just turn into a rather gnarly looking streak along the side of Triumph's carapace. So that is that dude's turn. So then, let's see. Okay, so I believe that means it is Hish's turn.
All right. So, like, there's like
A
one
lot of
other
bloaty
guy?
boys.
Oh, a lot of bloaty boys. How
Yeah.
many bloaty boys?
There are currently 5 bloaty boys.
On our side of the ship.
Yes.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, I'll hit the bloaty boys. Can I get? Are there 2 of them next together somewhere near me?
Yes, there are so there are, I believe there are 2 that are currently on Albus.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll head over to Albus and I'm gonna make it a sweeping attack if it hits. What's it? 18 plus 9, so I assume
Yeah, that'll hit.
that'll do it. 13 regular damage. 8 fire damage. Where did that other die go? And then 6 bonus damage. And the guy next to him gets the 6.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then I'm going to go back. I strike one way, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to strike the other way in a crisscross. And try to hit them both again. That's a 17 plus 9.
Oh yeah, that hits.
12 regular damage. 8 fire damage. Another 6 bonus damage.
Okay. So the first one that you strike, you see your blade sinks in, and yeah, they do not, their undead fortitude does not kick in as your blade slices through them. So they are no longer able to hold themselves, because they would have had to get a 25 on a con save, and that's just, they can't do that. That's not a thing. All right, so that is it for Hish's turn, unless you had a bonus action that you wanted to do.
Is there anybody else on the other ship?
It does not appear to be as though there are other crewmen on the deck of the other ship.
But it is still sailing past us?
Yes, it is still moving. It is carrying its own momentum.
Can I use my movement to board the ship?
Oh, for sure.
Fine, I do that.
Okay. So yeah, Hish, make a athletics check.
Okay.
One killed.
19 plus 9. So 20, 28?
Yeah, that's fine. Ulman, what did you say?
Was the one killed the one I cursed?
Yes.
Oh, cool. I'll just describe that on my turn.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, Hish, you do this large X-like pattern with this flaming scimitar, and all things considered, there is a really cool after image that's left as all of this is happening so quickly that there's just this flaming X for a brief moment, then one of them falls down while the other takes a serious amount of damage, and then you are just turning and running. They are going to try and make an attack of opportunity against you as you run away from them.
That's fine.
That is an 18 to hit.
That just hits.
Okay, so that is going to be that's 6 points of slashing damage. Make me a Constitution check or a Constitution save.
I don't want to. I'm gonna use my spicy die. It's been rolling spicy. Oh, I have a +9 to Constitution saves. I think I'm okay. Yeah, 15 plus.
Yeah, you're fine.
9.
Don't even worry about it. So yeah, you feel like there's something on this blade that the creature is using, on this old rusted longsword. But you're a big sturdy dad. There's no way that kind of nastiness is gonna affect you at all.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you have boarded the bone ship at this point in time. So then next up is that guy is dead, so he doesn't move anymore, thankfully. Which means that is... So that was Hish's turn. So then there is one more of this unarmed, bloated one that is then going to come up towards you. They seem to be focusing on Albus, possibly something to do with the fact that he is shirtless, and they get hungry pretty easily. And so it is going to make a round of attacks against you. That is a 17 to hit.
No.
How does a 23 look?
A 20 will hit.
Okay, cool. So then it is going to get 4 points of bludgeoning.
Okay.
Okay, make a also make
I got a 16 plus 1.
Okay, and then that is to maintain concentration on the banishment and then make another constitution save.
Natural 1.
All right. Sounds good.
The dichotomy of fish.
Got it. Cool. That's all that I needed. So then next up is Albus. Or no, sorry, because it needed to make its third attack for a 21 against you, Albus. That was for 5 points of bludgeoning.
Okay. I got a 13, so I think the concentration is still up.
Still up. Alrighty, so that is it for its turn. Next up is you.
How many creatures are up on this deck?
On this deck currently, there are a total of 3.
There are a total of 3?
Yes.
Which one looks like it has not been hurt the most?
The one that looks like it has not been hurt the most was the unarmed one that had currently just launched a flurry of undeady blows towards you.
Okay, I need that one to make an intelligence save.
A natural 1.
I love hitting with cantrips. 7 points of psychic damage. And then I need all 3 of them to make not charisma saves. I believe it's intelligence save. And that one gets to subtract a d4 from it. It is intelligence.
They all fail.
Everybody takes 10 points of psychic damage and can only use the dash and disengage action on their next turn.
Okay.
As I thrust my migraine at them, and I use Mind Thrust.
Sounds good. So the one that shares your initiative count is just going to jump overboard. They are just going to remove themselves and send themselves back into the ocean. Then next up is... Well, that demon is also banished. They are currently back in the hells. Or the infinite layers of the abyss. They weren't fighting in the war. That's fine. Neither here nor there. And then Ulman, it would be your go. Currently, there are only 2 of these undead men that are still on the ship, and it seems like both of them are actually immediately on you and your dear friend Albus.
Isn't ship before me?
They are just going to continue to munch on each other. So Jill, make another attack. Make another attack for triumph.
Come on, my beautiful, sweet baby boy. Natural 20!
So that is a total of 8d12 that need to get rolled.
Okay, I have like 4, I think.
I've got many.
Okay, so Jill, roll 4 of them.
It's because I showed triumph affection. Okay, that is 15, 17, 26.
Okay, and then Albus, roll 3, and then Ulman, roll 1.
I rolled a 7.
I rolled 9.
26 plus 7 is 33. 33 plus 9 is 42.
I got it. So yes, you guys have dealt a significant amount of damage onto this bone ship, and at this point, the bones are actually receding out of Triumph, as Triumph has just been like Pac-Man launching the side of the other of the enemy's vessel to the point where you know that the structural integrity that it has is failing, and it is beginning to list Hish as you have jumped over to the side.
That's fun.
So, Ulman.
Bye.
I read my ability wrong anyway, so I'm gonna green flame blade. This one who has been hit. I think there's one who's both of them have been hit.
Yes.
Whatever one is right next to me. Does a 16 hit?
A 16 does hit.
I don't have an ally within 5 feet. No, Albus is still right
Yeah.
there.
The two of you are still partying right next to each other.
So 23 to him,
Okay.
and 8 to the other one for
Okay.
green flame blade.
Sounds good. They are both still up.
Well, ain't that something?
Okay. And then on their turn, one of them will disengage and do the same thing that its other friend had, which is upon getting to the side of the ship, they just jump overboard. No longer seeming to be interested in this overall process of things. So then next up is Jill. And Jill, you have seen Hish jump over the side of Triumph onto the bone vessel, and is currently looking around as the bone vessel begins to list towards Triumph, who has done a heckin' bite on it.
I would like to hold my action, and I want to hold calling down the lightning again, and I want the trigger to be an enemy getting out of a 5-foot radius from my friends.
Okay.
So the moment one of them like gets far enough away, I'm gonna get him. I can still bonus action with the spiritual weapon. I want to whap the one that's still on the ship.
Okay.
I think I want to say it's like a 17. Let me double check. Yeah, 17.
A 17 hits.
7 points of force damage.
Okay. Just taking it like a champ.
Yep.
Alrighty, so then next up is Hish.
So, me Dingo doesn't know what to do when a ship is listing. But I assume that Hish would have some idea of what to do when one ship is listing towards the other one.
So, normally when a ship is listing up towards another ship, there is going to be structural damage that is going to be occurring on the ship that is getting listed into. If there was enough distance between the two of them, the listing vessel would just then sink into the water. It's not going to like turn fully onto its side like a fainted Pokemon or anything like that. It is just going to then take on water and eventually just sink down. But because it is moving, it is just going to be continuing its path until eventually it stops and then begins to sink. So unless you have any way as Hish to repair the incredible amount of damage that Triumph did when eating bones.
Well, I don't care if it sinks.
Yeah.
I just want to steer it away from Triumph. So theoretically, I could go to the helm and.
So
right?
Yeah, go to when you get to the helm and grab a hold of it to begin twisting the helm away. Make a wisdom save.
A wisdom save? That is a natural 20, baby.
Nice. So as you grab hold of the helm and begin to steer it away, there is a momentary pang that you feel in the back of your head. It is just this very bright, very vibrant flash. And when this flash occurs, there is a feeling like this ship wanted you to keep sailing it, that it was going to be the best possible outcome that you could have ever had. The worries that you had felt about possibly losing yourself to the ocean and not making it to be there for your family, had you just continued to sail this vessel, all of those worries would have been alleviated. But you know that this is wrong. There is this sickening feeling that is coming from the ship. And with this flash, you see it is like a incredibly shadowed, large, corpulent form. They have a stomach that seems like it is bursting with maggots and insects, and it looks like the head that you see on this creature has two gleaming red eyes, horns that extend down from the top and twist up into twin fine points, but it looks like any kind of skin or muscle that would be attributed to that face is just missing. And in that moment, this form had extended out a finger towards you and made a curling motion towards it, and you are able to just nope, and nope the fuck on out of there. But
Yep.
Yes, you managed to at least spin this wheel of the vessel enough to redirect it so it's not going to just immediately capsize onto your friends. However, that is all that you'll be able to do unless you would like to action surge and then jump back onto your ship.
Oh no, I'm gonna find whatever's on this ship. I'm staying here, baby. I got the cloak of the manta ray. I'm good.
Okay.
Your hubris will consume you.
Oh, arrogance.
I need to buy a house.
Okay, Arshawn.
All right, so that is what Hish is doing. So then next up is the last individual that had been mind rushed, and they are also going to just begin moving away from Albus and Ulman, but then there is a thunderstrike that is waiting for them.
Zap.
And that is a failed save. They don't make enough.
I gotta remember how. Oh, 3d10. Excuse me. That's not. But yes, it is a d10. Okie dokie artichoke. 25.
Okay. So again, they would have to roll 5 plus the damage taken to survive them being dropped with their undead fortitude. But there's no way I can roll a 30 when they have such a small amount of a bonus to that saving throw. So this bloated boy is completely fried. And at this point, there are no longer any enemies that are on your vessel. They've all either run away or been cleared out. And the three of you that are currently on the deck of your ship see Hish is just steering this large bone vessel away from Triumph as to not cause any more damage onto your ship.
Question, Indoor.
Yes.
Whenever banishment ends, I'm assuming the captain was not native to another plane.
They are not.
Since the ship has moved,
They will fall into the ocean.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, that is, unless you like circle back around and wait in that exact spot, and you're like, haha, when he reappears. No, they weren't tied to the boat. They were tied to that spot on like an XYZ axis. All right, so
Albus will maintain concentration for the next couple of minutes unless that failed con saved it does something.
No, not yet.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
So, Hish, as you steer these bones away, thankfully you nat 20'd your wisdom save. You aren't about this life, and as you are steering it away, you actually look back and you can see the damage that was done to Triumph. It seems that along the side of its hull, there are these large raking scrapes that look like a series of puncture wounds got stuck into its side and then dragged along. And in the strangest sense, your ship is bleeding. There is some kind of internal blood-like thing that is inside of Triumph that it keeps its life force, and that life force is just being emptied out into the ocean behind it as it continues to move. It looks like an oil slick.
Yeah. Does it seem to be healing itself like it did before, or is it just kind of hemorrhaging?
It looks like it is in the process of hemorrhaging. As you know, that the way that your ship healed it before was by a very very plucky cleric using some divine inspiration.
Well, shit. I'll be honest, I don't know what to do about that, so I'm gonna search this ship.
Okay. So the rest of you see Hish leave the helm and then begin making his way into the bows of the bone ship.
Making my way
Can I still
downtown.
make a jump to get over there?
It would be a much harder acrobatics check at this point, but you can try.
How far is it?
At this point, it is roughly about 50 feet away from the side of your ship. So if you made a running jump and then used a Misty Step-like ability, you would be able to get yourself to land on there, but you would still need to make the distance of the initial jump.
Yeah, I'm just trying to decide if I want to eat up my pack slot. But I'm actually going to go ahead and use Thunder Step instead. And not hurt anybody, but just make the jump all at once.
Okay.
Because that's got a 90-foot range.
Sounds good.
So, with a roaring clap, Ulman, well, I don't feel good letting them explore on their own, and disappears and appears on the other ship and runs after Hish.
Okay. So Albus, you and Jill are on the deck of your ship. You have just seen Ulman and Hish teleport over to the other ship. What are the two of you doing? And Jill, there is a sense of intense pain coming from your ship.
I think Jill's gonna kind of like wince a little bit and just gonna be like, I'm going to go check on Triumph, see if I can help them. I'll be back.
I'm gonna make sure this demon doesn't reappear.
Sounds good. Holler if it does. And I think Jill's gonna go down, I guess closer to where the injuries occurred.
So all of the injuries would have taken place roughly within the bilge. So when you go down there and as you start wading through, there is a intense smell of iron that seems to emanate from the water where there was none before. And looking up at the walls of the hull, you can see where there are areas where whatever Triumph is made out of was completely slashed and pierced through. There are actually these like visible holes that you can see out into the early night sky. And as Triumph sails, you can see that the muscles that they have sort of like contract and look like they're trying to begin the process of stitching themselves up back together, but they are more focusing on the clotting to actually stop the overall bleeding.
Do I get the sense that using like clerical healing magic, do I get the sense that that would be effective?
Triumph is a living creature, and your clerical magics can heal living creatures.
Works for me. Geez, I don't even know how much damage this bad boy took. Oh wait, that should have been. Forgot to click that spell slot. You know what? We're going to do a. We'll do a. Okay, let's do a 4th level cure wounds.
Okay.
Pump this bad boy full of that healing Thursday energy. 4d8. Where's my other d8? That is 19 points of healing.
Okay. So as you give Triumph this 19 points of healing, as the magic emanates out of you, you see almost like spectral recreations of the same bone spears and weaponry that had been coming off of the bone ship. seems to manifest in the inside of the bill, showing where it once was, and you watch as it just gets twisted away, almost like rolling up a carpet. And these weapons then just turn into this solid line of reddish energy that finds itself along the damaged walls of Triumph. And then as that energy dissipates, you see that those wounds have properly healed in that area. You know that it's going to take you a little bit more time to actually heal up these areas fully, but you have a pretty good understanding that you can actually work with this. This is something that you are capable of doing. The thing that stands out the most to you, though, is that after you've helped with this healing, the carapace came off in the areas where Triumph had been injured. And so you see that there are just where the holes would be for this carapace, there is just this kind of dark skin-like material that exists underneath.
Okay, I think as she's doing this, she's just like, there, it's all right. You did good. Yes, you did good. Trying to comfort the Triumph.
Make a persuasion check. Roll persuasion to comfort the boat. D&D is a weird game.
Dungeons and Dragons, baby. 12.
I'll say with advantage because you're actually healing them.
15.
There is a sense that comes back from the ship, like it knows that it did a good job, and it actually will even, like, it'll make a grumbly noise, but it's one of those, like, yeah. Like, it knows it did a good job.
I'm a good boy.
Yeah. So yeah, it is getting reaffirmations that it did a good job, and it's like, yeah, it did a great job. I ate such a big boat. And then we are going to go onto the second ship with Hish and Ulman, who have begun making their way down below. As you are looking through this ship, you come to the first of these lower decks that are not made in a way that would support any living crewmen. There aren't cabins, there aren't separate areas that have been sectioned off for personal quarters. It all just seems very open. And if anything, as this ship is continuing to list, and at one point seems to stop as at a pretty sharp angle, but is no longer continuing on its side, it looks like there are dents in the wall. Like there are these series of concave depressions along the side that look roughly humanoid shaped. It looks like whatever you fought had actually been resting in the actual walls of the ship before detaching itself and making its way up.
Super gross.
Part of the crew, part of the ship.
As you continue downward, Hish and Ulman, I want for you both to make wisdom saves. Ulman, I want you to roll 2.
I have to roll. Can you get out of my way? There's a 10 plus 3, 13.
A dirty 20 and an 18.
Okay, so Ulman, Ham, you are both safe from whatever it is that is emanating from this ship. But Hish, in a way, you can't stop thinking about it. That weird sense that pulled at you, that let you know that if you continue to captain this ship, that you can avoid the end of your own mortality. And there is something in the bow of this ship. Yes.
I'm indomitable.
Make it. See if it works.
Pray for me.
Oh.
19 plus 3.
Nice. And you shake your head again. No, this isn't what I want. God damn it. Why is this feeling keep happening to me? And together, you and Ulman go towards at least Hish, where you feel like treasure would be best suited for. And in the middle of this deck, as it seems like the bilge here actually kind of drained in, and now that you can get a good look at it, you see that there is a large open hole to where the ship has been taking on water, and it would all be a regular boat bottom if not for this dark looking spire that seems to grow out of the center of where this lower deck would be. And Hish, that spire is what is like, you know, that is what keeps giving you these feelings. Ulman and Ham, the two of you have gotten used to people trying to probe and take over and blah 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 god stuff. Umberly can shove it. That you are able to like have the correct mental fortitudes. This thing hasn't reached out to you in the same manner that it has Hish. But there is something wicked about this. It looks like there are these veins that seem to extend up from the spire and connect it to the ceiling. And as you look, it is actually just flesh. It is just strings of flesh that have been connected from the spire to the top. And there are these large spines that seem to grow out of the bottom. And there is it's almost like you get the feeling like there's something inside of this that is looking back upon you.
I don't like that thing.
I don't like it either. It keeps trying to tempt me. It's a weird way of putting it, but I think I'm just gonna, and I think he goes over and he's gonna try and, you said it was like this
Yes.
spire, but it's like flesh, right? It's like a
Yes.
vein.
Oh, if you're going to stab it, I will straight up join you. I'm so glad this is what you were thinking. I was also thinking I want to stab this thing, and this could be bad for us, you know.
On 3 together?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, make your attack rolls.
Well, that was a 3 plus 9, so 12.
28 total?
A 28 does hit, a 12 does not.
Yeah, that sounds right.
$15?
Okay. So yes, you deal a successful amount of damage into this crystal. I would like for both of you to make wisdom saves again.
Net 20?
Okay.
So 6 plus 3.
Ulman, make a second wisdom save, as you currently have 2 forms of sentience.
24.
Okay. Hish, as soon as you watch Ulman's short sword pierce into this, you feel like there is a sense of pain within yourself that has been struck with this blade, and you know that there is something here. This crystal, this gem, whatever it is, looks so valuable. You're looking for a way to buy your house. Why wouldn't this thing be worth the same amount, if not more, than a mansion. And you feel protective over it. Not to the point of violence, at least unless Ulman is going to continue attacking this thing. But right now, you have been enthralled by this ship, by whatever this thing is here within the bilge of the bone ship. And the ship is beginning to sink down, and you are so happy to have with you this cloak of the manta ray, so you can just continue to ride this ship down towards its natural resting place.
Yeah, I think Hish, I think he went to strike at it, and as Ulman hit it, was overcome with this feeling, and he sort of drops his arm and sheaths his scimitar, and I think he puts a hand on Ulman's shoulder and almost kind of pushes him back. But he doesn't.
Captain?
He doesn't say anything as he just approaches this pillar, this crystal.
Hey, Captain, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't think he says anything to Ulman as he just kind of puts his hand on it.
Captain, if you don't stop, I'm going to restrain you.
Ulman, I'd like to see you try.
Oh, I will.
And
yeah, he doesn't say anything to you. He just
I want to create
his
some
palm on
manacles.
okay.
And if you're not looking at me, I want to roll stealth to try to just snap it on both of your hands.
That'd be
maybe?
sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. 22?
You slap him onto Hish, and Hish, you have been manacled.
I'd like to bust out of those.
Yeah, make an athletics check.
It was a 19 plus 9. 28.
Well, these manacles are originally made of goo, so really, they were just manacles in form. But you make an insight check.
Sure. Stop. He's trying to roll for me. Oh, it's a
Well,
4.
they're working
plus
on these
7.
manacles. I want to hit that
11.
crystal.
Get away from the crystal!
With an 11, Ulman is trying to take this ship away from you. Ulman is trying to stop you from being together with Talia. You have never once thought that Ulman was capable of this, but you have these moments and recollections where in the night you and Ulman and Jill had all plotted about what to do if somebody went a little wild, not naming names, Albus, but in case somebody did, if you would be okay with it. And Ulman, even in that moment, said that he trusted you, but now he's not. He's showing that he is being entirely untrustful of you. He is trying to get in between you, your duty as this ship's captain, to prevent you from seeing your journey towards this vessel's home. A home that you know you will be able to then provide for all of those that you care deeply for.
Hish looks at you, Ulman. He turns around, having busted out of the manacles, and I think he sees you with your sword up, or your dagger.
It's a short sword.
Short sword.
Short sword. Yeah, he sees you with your sword up, ready to strike at the pillar again, and you see this steely, cold glare in his eyes as he stares at you and says, "You're gonna want to take 3 steps back now."
You can see Ulman weighing your words. And he, like, in one swift movement, spins around to the other side of the crystal from you and slams into it again with his short sword.
Make another short sword attack. And then
Does
follow it up
a-
with 2 wisdom saves.
21 hit?
21 does.
Do I get sneak attack with this roll?
I'm not your friend anymore.
Then are you... Well, you're not within 5 feet of the crystal, so I'm alone
you're
with
bo-
an enemy.
Yeah.
Therefore...
I would say that you won't get sneak attack on this because it's an inanimate object, and you can't sneak on something that has no
Crystal.
perception.
It's hitting delicate points, and it's a crystal, and I'm slamming a sword into a crystal.
This ain't siege damage, boy.
Anyway, that's 15 then.
Okay.
And then... 17, 18?
Who got the 17?
That would be Ham.
Ulman, as you like reel back, you've now swapped sides, and Hish, Ulman has just struck out against this thing that you feel like you should protect. Ulman, you feel after your sword connects, you watch as this dark energy. This is where Tharisdan's is like this deep red. This is a blackness that is just outlined with a sickening green that seems to spill out of the crystal and onto your hand, and that energy then seeps into Ham's body. And as much as you want to continue to stab the crystal, there is a disconnect happening here. You and Ham typically work in tandem, but you feel your arm also go to the side, and there is a look that Ham gives you, Hish, of understanding and knowing. And Hish, you know that they've seen the truth of the matter. That this is the ultimate way to protect those that they care about. And the ship continues to sink. And that is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop by and join us for this wonderful sea shanty of a time. Who knows what's happening with Tammeraut's fate? It's been 8 sessions so far, and we're getting into the juiciest of meat and potatoes. So,
Turns out Tammeraut may now be Hish.
If you had the chance to change your fate, would ya?
so with that,
What you said about my hubris and
Yes! It will consume you!
oh, fuck.
Arrogance.
Well, I'm Dingo. You can find me on Twitter at WheresMyDingus. Tuesdays I'm on Off the Table playing Alas for the Awful Sea, Storms and Stars, another sad ocean time. It's real good. KyleWithAnN's in it. Super great. Thursdays I'm here, and then every other Friday I am back on Off the Table playing a D&D homebrew campaign called Tales from Thersha. And then on February 29th, Off the Table is having their monthly Otterthon to raise money, and all of that money goes back into the channel, paying for like editors and art and all kinds of stuff for the streams. It takes a lot. So feel free to come by. It's a 12-hour stream. I'm playing in a game of Girl Underground, which is sort of an Alice in Wonderland game. But there's gonna be 3 games all spanning from noon to midnight. So feel free to come on by, and if you can, donate, and those donations will change things in the game.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Reeves. You can find me saying, screw that no gods, no masters. Have you ever owned a whole ship with a dank, dark crystal in the middle of it? Maybe we'll find ourselves some Skeksis to pilot it. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Reeves_bot. I stream currently on Sundays with 3 of my buddies. We're doing a playthrough of Terraria. We just got into the dungeon. I'm maybe halfway through building the house, which I've sunk a good 10 hours into now, and I regret the immense size of my hubris. So maybe you'll come join us for that. Otherwise, I'm here on Thursdays having a great time.
Hoi, I'm Cyber. I shitpost at CyberWolf1201 on Twitter. I also talk about whenever I go live on my own channel at twitch.tv/CyberWolf1201. I play video games badly, and I'll talk about lore. It's a good time. Archives that go to YouTube, youtube.com/CyberWolf1201, where KyleWithAnN and I have a podcast, Let's Talk About It, where we get drunk, do parkour, and talk about stuff going on in the RPG world. D&D Beyond homebrew tutorials and other stuffs. That's all there. But for RPG stuff, I'm on the DM's Guild. I got a Patreon. I'm here on Mondays. I play Arjan, who I promise is not going to make very many more appearances in this game. I'm here. I play Albus, and on Saturdays on Pro Restar's channel, I play Kurik, the Shifter Druid. It's a good time.
Howdy, everyone. I'm KyleWithAnN, otherwise known as KyleWithAnN on Twitter and Twitch. On Twitch, I stream video games sometimes. On Twitter, I post about the things I'm in as well as other stuff. You kind of heard about some of the projects I'm in. Storms and Stars, Black Banner, Let's Talk About It. But if that ain't enough for you, if you're just hungering for more, next Wednesday, because we do this on a bi-weekly Wednesday basis, on twitch.tv/playbooksandpals, you can catch me in a mass game, Planned Obsolescence Season 3. We're going to start with session number 1. We just did session 0, so it's perfect time to jump in. Also, another podcast I'm in, Cape Lorelei, Urban Shadows Actual Play podcast. It's a real good time. So yeah, check me out in those places, or not, it's your choice, but consider.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am, but if you don't, hey fella, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If this is your first time joining us, consider going to youtube.com/Indoor Adventures, where you can catch up on all of our VODs. We also upload audio casts wherever audio casts are made available for free. If you already support the show and you're looking for a further way to help contribute in some sort of meaningful fashion, consider going to patreon.com/Indoor Adventures, where we have an after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. And of course, indooradventure.redbubble.com if you're looking to pick up some sweet merch. But we are going to be going to our Patreon supported podcast. So with that, I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and join us for this wonderful journey. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week. And we will see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.